Hello, Western Oregon sports fans, and welcome to the season recap edition of Wolves Weekly. Joining me in the studio after your first season on the job, head men's basketball coach Brady Bergson. Brady, it's a fantastic first season. I know that you always probably have higher expectations for yourself, but the team this year finished 18-10, 11-7 in the GNAC. The 18 wins were the most ever for the Wolves since coming to D2 in 2001, and 11-7 earned you guys fourth place in the conference, and was the Wolves' most wins ever in the conference play, or GNAC play, and their highest finish. So, although you might have high expectations, which every coach should, it was a fantastic season, and really, as a fan point of view, a great one to watch with some great players on the floor out there as well.
Well, thanks, Dan. I appreciate it.
Hey, two teams that you beat this year, and even you split with them this year, and even the losses, it was a 2-point loss to Seattle Pacific and overtime loss to Western Washington. I know there's not those wins, losses that mean anything that way, but it was just incredible to see the power of the conference, and that you guys said you were right there with them. I guess.
Yeah, we really were, and you said it. I mean, we beat Western Washington at their place earlier in the conference season, and played very well up there, and then we took them to overtime in the second round with them, and ended up losing here at our place. But had our chances, and same with Seattle Pacific. It was we were in control of that game at their place, and ended up losing it on a buzzer beater, basically, at their place. Otherwise, we would have swept them this year. And so those are the two top teams as they've proven themselves. But that is, that's a sign of how our conference play was. And I think top to bottom, 1 through 10 was night in, night out was just, you had to bring it. And if there was anything I could say about this conference, it's there are no off days, absolutely zero. Yeah. You've got to absolutely perform and be detailed and disciplined and healthy, the whole bit. You got to bring the whole thing. Otherwise, boy, somebody's going to get you.
Man, and no matter what the team is, there's some talented individuals out there, and it seems like not just one or two, but everybody's bringing about 3 or 4 guys that, especially in this conference, that can shoot the ball.
Yeah.
Shifting over to some of the guys that you had the opportunity to work with your first year here on the job. There's a lot of different guys out there, but I'd like to talk to you about the 5 seniors. Unfortunately, I had 1 year to work with some of these guys. We'll go through the list really quick, but let's go through the all-reason selection. Blair Whedon. I mean, he was just great to watch him all 4 years here. I know you had 1 with him, but just talk to me a little bit about Blair and what he meant to the program this time.
Well, Blair was a leader, and he was one of our 2 co-captains, senior co-captains on the team, and he was the guy that did it vocally, and also, one of the harder workers on the team as well. And Blair, I think, bought in from day one and really wanted to be coached, wanted the discipline, wanted to be pushed. And Blair's got he competes with a chip on his shoulder, and as long as he feels like he's being pushed for the right reasons and directing him towards winning, he's all about it. And so he was terrific to coach this year. He also he's kind of one of those guys, the cliche is a coach on the floor, but very much a vocal leader, and very much took control of that team at moments where we needed a guy to take control of that team, and that takes a lot of different forms. And Blair's, even as a peer to his teammates, was able to do that, and he really has the respect of his teammates, respect of his staff, and certainly respect throughout the conference. People don't want to match up with Blair, and I know conference-wide they're glad he's gone. We're not. Blair will be missed, and he did a terrific job. Very, very pleased and thankful to have had him for a year.
Blair actually leaves the conference as the conference's all-time steals leader. A very good, nice crowning jewel to a fantastic 4-year career, which really, to me about Blair as well, he's 12th in the conference in scoring, but to me, between the steals and that one, showing that the guy is a real all-around player, playing defense, getting out there harassing people, and shooting the ball very well. So it's a great job from Blair. And another guy which will also leave his mark in the conference is Kyle Long. Kyle Long this year became just the 49th individual in the conference to ever score 1,000 career points. And I know besides just the scoring, he did a lot more on the floor for you guys as well.
He sure did, yeah. He well-balanced player, deceptively athletic, and can score in a variety of ways. And you know, he showed that he was a prominent source for us offensively and defensively. And you know, Kyle had some big games for us at big moments, hit big shots, and he's fearless. And likewise, you know, he and Blair were oftentimes kind of a 1-2 combo, and they complement each other really well, play off each other really well, played together for 4 years. You know, very close friends off the floor the whole bit. So that guard duo there that played here 4 years, again, you know, it'd be tough to you know, ever you know, replace that with another guard duo. But you know, of course, that's our challenge, and that's our job as a staff. So, but Kyle was again very, very good to coach, and you know, was open to anything that the staff needed from him. He was willing to do, and went it with a great attitude.
Well, let's talk about their other senior backcourt mate, Jordan Freelander.
Yeah, Jordan's a Portland kid, and he came in as a transfer. You know, so this was his second year here at Western, and obviously, you know, the 1 year that I get with them. I don't know if anybody hit bigger shots more consistently or made bigger plays more consistently than Jordan. When you look back at some of the tight games that we had, one possession games, and there were a number of them, Jordan made plays in all or nearly all of them, whether it's hitting a big corner three, driving to the basket, you know, with less than a minute to go and scoring it, or making a steal. He was involved in some way, shape, or form, and tremendous courage, and was there when you needed him. He was also one of the co-captains and was a tremendous leader. Did his thing from a leadership standpoint in a much quieter way than Blair did, more behind the scenes. But you know, he was so well respected by his teammates that he was an easy call for a captain as well.
The other two guys I want to talk to you about as well, transfers in, but still had very big impacts on the program in their 2 years here. Chris White transferred in there down in Arizona.
Chris really had a big off season last year, and was very motivated to come in and make a difference this year, and he did. He gave us an athletic presence on the interior that we really didn't have anything like him other than that, and he you know, he had some very big games. And you know, he gave us a dimension that we didn't get necessarily with some of our other player combinations, and you know, really accepted his role, embraced it, and really was a warrior. You know, he played about the last third of the season with a separated shoulder, and you know, we didn't take him out of practice one time. We didn't, you know, we sat him out at a couple of games where he just couldn't physically go. But he practiced through it, he played through it, and very proud of him. He was an absolute warrior coming down the backstretch there, and just played through the pain. Knew there wasn't anything we could do about it, you know, until he got to rested after the season, and so he just went about it, and he did a terrific job.
And Jamel had a lot of impact out there as well. Played in all 28 games. Another guy that gave you a lot of depth out there.
He did, yeah, and you know, a versatile guy. Played him on the perimeter almost exclusively, but he also thrives inside. So you know, we got I think he might have been our third leading rebounder. You know, he was up there. He did a good job defensively. Hit some big shots for us. Had some bigger scoring games early in the year, but really made a big impact on the boards and defensively consistently all year long.
I'm sure you created a lot of memories on and off the floor with those guys in the 1 year you had them, but now we got to kind of move on and talk about those guys you have coming back. You lose 3 starters from that senior core right there, but at the same time, you bring back your 2 posts for next year. That's got to be a little bit exciting that you know you bring back 2 of the more experienced big guys in the league next year.
Yeah, and we're going to depend on those guys. Talking about Colt Nelson and James Gearing, and you know, those guys have pretty decent size and skill inside, and I thought as the year went on, they just got better and better and better, and you know, our guards got more and more confidence throwing the ball into them and giving it to them even on big possessions, and I think they have a lot there that they can build off of in the offseason. We'll be asking for very big off seasons for both those guys. If they can be you know, dominant interior players next year in this league, I think we'll be in good shape. And but those guys, I don't think they're too far off, but they're basically one big off season away from getting there. And I'm very excited to work with them this off season, and we just want to pick up where we left off and keep that momentum going from a skill development standpoint with those guys. And redo everything non-basketball for a couple of weeks. I do know that there's been guys sneaking into the gym and shooting, and they just can't get enough of it. And gym rats are gym rats. Also been sneaking into the weight room, and so it's good to see. The main thing is we've got to be recharged coming through, so we can push them hard in the spring, and I expect them to be mentally and physically refreshed when we get them. So we'll start in April, and we'll get back after them.
Well, Brady, just want to say thanks again. It's been a fantastic time going kind of on the journey with this team this year. It was a great season for you guys, and look forward to having you on the show again. Hopefully not all the way, wait till next year. We'll maybe get a little update in the spring again or something.
Sounds good. Thanks, Dan.
Thank you, Brady. And thank you all for watching the season recap edition of Wolves Weekly.